everybody. Welcome back to Beyond the Curtain. I'm Naomi.
I'm Amanda.
And today we're talking about good luck, bad luck, and omens behind stage.
We figure it was appropriate with St. Patrick's Day to kind of talk about our rituals, I guess we could say, before shows. And a bunch of you sent us in stories what you have to do or that you like in theater. So we're going to get into that. Is there anything else we need to go over, or we just want to go right into it?
We're jumping right in.
So before we read everybody else's stories, what are some of your rituals you have to do before a show? And hold on, is it right before the show, or does yours because I know people that are no, it starts the first day of tech rehearsal and leads all the way through the production.
Oh my!
So
mine aren't that extreme. Okay. I try to eat a little something by 5:30. Okay. 5:30 is my cutoff, except for water. After that's fine, but anything after 5:30 does not go well.
Yeah.
I just can. I mean, plus you don't want to act or dance or sing on a full stomach anyway. So, and then my go-to tried and true thing that always works for me is the dollar store eyelash extension glue.
Okay.
I know it has never failed. I've never had an eyelash set decide to fly away on the corner. It is the weirdest thing, and I always tell people, they're like, "Where'd you get that?" And I was the dollar store. Oh, this is not a paid advertisement, by the way, but it's one of those things where I just have to go get it.
Okay.
It's so strange. I don't know. Sometimes I will put up photos of the Broadway show on my mirror as inspiration, and I think that's something that's kind of cool to look at, and you're oh my gosh, I'm playing this part of that person, and it just makes the whole connection from story to Broadway to here.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
Yeah.
So sometimes I
used to do that. Yeah.
I print out little pictures and put them around my mirror. Yeah, I don't know. What about you?
I am very much a procrastinator. Thank you to my father, passed on from generation to generation. So I don't like to buy wig caps, bobby pins, any last minute makeup that I need until that first day of tech.
Oh yeah.
So I like to go get it all, have it out, which is weird because I know people like to buy it and then test the product out to see if they like it, but I will truly wait until the day of, and then I'll pack my bag, lay everything out that I need. I'm really weird. This is something, and it might gross people out, but tights or undergarments, I will wear them for 2 times, wash them on Wednesday, and then so they're clean by opening night.
Oh, for
if that
sure,
makes
yeah.
sense. I will wear them gross for a couple of days, but opening night they have to be fresh and clean. Yes. Or if I buy a new pair, I'll run of tights. I'll run the other pair out until opening night, and then I'll change it out, and then I won't change them out again.
Yeah.
I won't.
Oh, I agree. I
leave it. It's it's something that's really weird, and people are oh, yeah. So, but I do that. I in the dressing room, I don't really have I have a way I like my station set up. I also, we've talked about this, once I'm in the building where we're doing our production, my script stays home. I can't bring it with me. I don't know why. I'm I will practice whatever I need to go over at home, but having it backstage, just seeing you guys, I'm y'all are stressing me out, man. I'm just in my zone.
I know we talked about if you don't know it, you don't know it.
Yeah, and that's kind of how I feel. And so if there's something that I'm oh, I flubbed that line, or oh, I missed that note, I'll go home, open my script, and look over it. But I can't can't do that.
It sometimes works as a really good roadmap of where the show is going and what's next.
Yeah.
But now that we have people that do that backstage for us anyway, that is very helpful.
Yeah. So kudos to you that can have your script out. Props, because I can't. I'm just I need to just think about where I'm at, the space, the audience, and then just go. So,
that's a good point. I think you might put more pressure on yourself if it's out and you're staring at it and this and that. Yeah.
Yeah. It's also funny. I think about people in the past that I've worked with that are no longer with us, Marie Gallion, and we were in Sound of Music together the very first time we did Sound of Music, and she was one of the nuns, and she wasn't a named nun, she was just one of the nuns, and every time I saw her she would be sitting in the corner by herself, and I was oh, okay. And she was very method. She's I have to sit, this is where I need to be to get in the zone and think about what my character would do and all of this, and I was just oh, okay. And I was 8th grade at the time, so I had no idea. So it was really interesting to see that's how she got into character, was she just sat in the corner and she just thought about it and away from everybody else. And actually as a dancer I do that. I want to have 5 minutes to myself alone, and so I think I do that in theater as well. I'll kind of just go out in the hallway and walk or stretch or listen to music or heat or whatever I need to, because I kind of want just that little time by myself. So
Yeah. Yeah, no, I agree with that. It's kind of interesting when you are doing your prep or you're getting ready, like how soon do you get ready? Do you put your wig on in the beginning or the end? Like call time's 5:30. I'm not going to put a wig on at 5:30. Like,
no. Yeah, so what's your order? Like, what do you do? Like, do you go
so I show up, I try to get my makeup on first because I'm helping others backstage now, so it's a little bit different. So I try to at least get my face on. And then my wig is usually, like, if I'm wearing a wig in the show and I've wigged everybody else, my wig is usually the last wig to go on. Yeah, it's kind of like my way of, like, and so we begin. So
I'm definitely a wig last kind of person.
Yeah.
And I think everybody is, but some people they'd rather get it on first and then have time. I'm the person that people hate, that I'm like, literally the overture is starting and then I'm coming back to Naomi like, I guess I'll get my wig on now.
I was like, do you want to put your costume on too? You're like, we have time.
Like, especially if I'm not, like, if I'm in that first scene, then yes.
Oh yeah, of course.
Like, even Cinderella, we were in that opening scene and I would literally like just wait. Yeah. Because I'm like, I've got a corset, I've got a hoop skirt, like I've got all this. I can wait 2 seconds for my wig.
It takes so long. I know, I'm like, you can just come back. Just come back later.
But yeah, no, I will, like, and sometimes there are shows that I'm like, I want to get ready at home.
Yes.
I want to do my makeup at home.
Oh my
I'll
gosh,
fine-tune it when we get to the theater because there's so many other things that I've got going on.
That's true. Yeah, you can get ready at home and then, like, but I would always bring it with me.
Yeah, oh yeah, for sure. So, and then here's another one. Do you leave all your stuff there, or are you a take-her-homer?
I'm a take-her-homer.
I'm a take-her-homer too. Okay.
Not that I use the same makeup, but like,
there's something like, I don't know.
I leave some stuff, but most of it comes home.
I take it all home.
Like, so your whole station
like my
is
makeup,
clean?
like my makeup stuff, it all comes with me. But then
like,
I'll leave like my tights,
I'll leave the dance shoes,
I'll
leave the
everything.
tights,
But no, like all my makeup, all like my beauty products,
I know,
everything coming, even like my wig cap, it's coming with me.
Everything's coming with me.
And then I have it stays in the bag, it stays where it needs to be, so I know it's always there. Because for some reason my brain thinks that from the minute you left the theater to the time you come back, a ghost is going to come in and move your things around. I don't know why, but my brain's like, I want to know where it is. I want to have it in my possession so that when I get there, I know that I have it.
And even if it comes home with me and it stays in the car, it's still with me there. And then it transfers. Yeah, it's just
my torn
weird
wig cap that I probably could replace. Nope, I'm going to use it for the entire show.
I know, someone told me recently they've had a wig cap for 7 years. And I'm like,
I think it's time.
I was like, please take these with you.
No, I throw them away after a show. But
I agree.
Also, I know people hate it, but I am not a pin curl. I cannot. My hair will not hold pin curls for wigs. Yeah, I have to braid it.
Braiding is a really good way to do that too.
And I think for me, it started when we were in Cats, and I didn't wear a wig cap, so they just pinned directly to my head because I was doing so much upside down. And I think from then, it's just like, that's my like security blanket. Yeah. So like when people are like, why don't you do pin curls? I'm like, just let me do my thing, okay?
You're like, braids are safe.
Yeah, so
braids
that's like
work.
If I have to wear a wig, that's my ritual. I go braids. I go braids.
I agree with that. And people with super thick hair, I suggest a braid as well because the wig will sit flatter to the head. Yeah. And instead of these huge cinnamon buns that are coming in, I'm just like, nope, go do 2 French braids for me.
And I like it when I can like feel you like digging. I'm like, yes. And you're like, are you hurting me? I'm like, you can't hurt me.
Like, she's secure.
But yeah, I think those are some like weird things that I have. And then I have like certain stretches I have to do. But
another thing our company has been doing more recently, it's not a weird thing, but it's like we have been timing the curtain speech before a show opens. So it's just a fun thing that we all do. We all come together. We all put a number on the board. Yeah. And whoever wins like a candy bar. Yeah. But we are fighting for that candy bar by the second. Yeah. You know, like if I put like 518, someone's 517, someone's 516. Like, you know, it's just like so funny. Yeah. Actually pick the time on who's doing the curtain speech. So we always ask who's doing it, and then you can put your guests up from there. But I don't know, it's something that all kind of brings the cast together in like a joking little fun way.
It's also like mic check when we're all out on stage, kind of goofy and
mic check is
making
always
everybody
fun.
mad because we're goofing around and not paying attention to who's being called for mic check.
Yeah, sorry, booth people.
Sorry, you called 12 and 14 we're having a conversation, and so that's kind of fun.
Sometimes that conversation gets amplified.
Yeah. So everybody hears it. So I think, like, for me also, like, when I get there, I start to get ready. By mic check, I want to have my hair done so that I can put my microphone in.
Yes.
And
So true.
then after that, if I have time, I make sure all my props are set, all my costumes are set. If I have any fast costume change, my shoes are where they're supposed to be. If I'm dancing and I have, like, any lifts, I'm like, find my partner.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Let's go over them now, which is actually something that they have to do on Broadway. And I'm going to start kind of, like, pushing that
I love
in
that.
to
Yeah.
our
Go
company.
do your lifts. Go
it's
do
called
this.
Lift Call. And be like, hey, lift
Okay.
call, let's go. But we haven't really had a show where we've had a ton of people doing lifts. It's just been like a couple of, like, little couples here and there. So they've just done it on their own. Or for shows that have fighting, they have what they call fight call. And they have to come in and practice that so nobody gets hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Safety first, people.
Yeah.
And that's a really
My
good
Boys in
point
West
to
Side
check
Story
your props.
2014.
Oh, yeah. Just
check your
careful.
props. Check your props.
That is a really good point.
So
Yeah.
we kind of went through ours.
I know.
What are some, like, traditional, like, there are things you say. So as a dancer, in the dance world, we say merde.
Okay.
As, like, a good luck. You don't say good luck. We say merde. Yeah?
Merde. Okay.
Merde. Yeah.
Hmm.
Look it up. It's French. I'm not going to say what it is.
Yeah.
But it's funny.
Like,
It's really
interesting.
funny to me when I have people that have been in the dance world and I'll be backstage and they'll be like, merde. And I'm all, how do you know? How do you know that? And then they'll be like, oh, like, I photographed dance, or I played for I'm in the Boise Philharmonic and I played for the Nutcracker for Ballet Idaho or something.
That
and
is so
I'm just like,
interesting.
how do you
know the secret word?
How do you know what we do?
Like a secret
Because, like, in dance, like, dance team or sports, it's good luck, good luck, good luck. But in
I love
theater,
that.
it's
break a leg. Yeah.
So, yeah, you don't say. And some people are cool about it. Like, you can say.
We
good
won't
luck.
even say it.
Some people you can say good luck to backstage, and they're like, oh, thank you. And then some people are like, take it back. And I'm like, okay, so
You're like,
sorry.
don't say that.
Yeah.
Or you're like, do you hate me?
Yeah. Why would
Why did you say
to
that?
me?
Why did you say that?
So it is funny coming from the dance and the theater world to have, our two little things cross. So,
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
So I know you read up on it. Why do we say break a leg? What is the whole backstory?
What is the meaning?
What is the meaning of break a leg?
break
Because
a
it doesn't
leg?
actually mean
I
break
know.
a leg.
It's actually like
I have people ask me that all the time. I'm like, no, we don't want anyone to actually break a leg.
I know.
I
It
hope
is
not. I
kind
hope
of
no
it
one's
is
saying
still
that
kind of a little
actually.
catty.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay.
I hope no
So,
one's saying that to
like,
actually break my leg.
In
So.
early theater, actors would stand behind the leg line
Mm.
when they weren't performing and wouldn't get paid. Telling an actor to break a leg wished them the opportunity to perform and get paid. So
Yeah.
it was a little catty,
It
but
was,
like,
yeah,
it was
but
like-
also kind of like wishing that, like,
yes,
you get to break that leg, you get to go out, you get to be.
get to
So.
that they are getting paid and they do get to perform. So yeah, I was like, it's kind of a little catty, but now it's all about
Yeah, it's just been passed down.
Yeah, I
So.
think that is pretty cool. Yeah.
I know. But I love when people are like, why do you say break a leg?
I know,
Isn't
they
that
think-
mean? I'm like, no. They're like, don't you say good luck? And I was like, you don't say.
You like,
We don't.
don't say that again.
It's like saying the M word in theater. You don't say it. For those who know, you know. So you don't say
I was
it.
gonna whisper it, and I was like, don't say
Well, we're not in the
it.
theater, but
True,
we don't
true.
say that,
But we don't
so.
want to curse our theater rehearsing
So.
space either.
Okay, I'm excited to hear a bunch of these stories.
I know. Oh my gosh. So we had people
Some
write
of
in.
you.
Yeah, like some
I
of
know
them.
who you are.
We have little stories, like
Yeah,
whole
like
stories.
So
Love.
love.
Yeah. So let's
right, let's
see.
get into it.
I know. Like.
Oh my gosh, we have so many.
Okay.
Ooh, that was a long one.
Okay, so Ayana says, my backstage ritual is really calm. I also have a problem with not getting ready super quickly, like
Yeah.
15 minutes before it starts. I don't really mentally prepare much. I just walk on stage and do my thing and walk off like it's a typical bedtime routine. I love that.
Yeah.
But I
That
love
makes
it so
sense.
much because I can make it a calm and relaxing space.
Mhm.
I enjoy it so much more instead of getting my nerves going. So
Yeah.
she like really, I guess she just calms down.
Yeah.
I need to take a lesson. I don't really know how to do that.
I think I'm calm. I think I'm pretty calm until, like, the overture hits. That's when I might be like, oh, okay. And, like, I
Yeah.
might, but for me, like, I don't like it if I'm super calm before a show. Like,
I
I want to
don't.
have a
There has
little
to
bit,
be
yeah,
a little bit of
exactly.
urgency.
A little
to
bit of
it.
urgency, a
Yeah.
little bit of anxiety, honestly, which, I mean, I have anxiety all the time. But I want to have a
It's
little.
a new level.
It's a new level of nerves, of anxiety, because I feel like if I'm super calm, then, like, I'm not going to do my best.
Like,
if
care
that makes
as much?
sense.
Yes,
I
I almost got,
that's
yeah.
That's
yeah,
exactly
yeah.
it. I feel like I don't care as much, even though I
Yes.
do. So I don't like it when I'm calm. I also, this is really weird, I love having a bad dress rehearsal.
Oh my gosh, the worst dress rehearsal
I love
equals
having
the
a bad
best
dress.
opening.
Yep, I love
The
having
best
a bad dress
opening.
rehearsal.
Not that we ever want that,
No.
but it just...
And I don't want that for like
It's just how
the
it goes.
company
Yeah.
or the show, but for me, like if I have a bad night, I'm like, it's gonna be a good opening
It's
night.
gonna be so
It's gonna be a
good.
good opening night. So
It's
yeah.
so true.
Okay, what else we got?
Rachel says, I don't eat a big meal before the show. I will usually have a protein bar or a drink before. I have to get these Albanian gummies. They're gummy bears.
Oh, okay, I know, yeah.
In my bag
white bag,
before,
yeah.
during the show. I wait until the last possible moment to get dressed, depending on the costume. I like to pray over the leads individually, which I thought was kind of sweet.
Kind of sweet, yeah.
Yeah. She said praying over the leads calms her down and her castmates. So I thought that was kind of sweet.
That's super sweet.
I know. I was like, that's. I feel the same way. I get. Ugh, yeah.
When we used to have food backstage. We're not allowed to, but some of us did. We shouldn't have. I apologize. I would always have like Tootsie Rolls.
Okay.
Tootsie Rolls.
Okay.
I would love to have Tootsie Rolls backstage. Mints. Any kind of mint always
yeah.
helps. Yep.
Yeah, and sometimes the women's dressing room, someone will buy a big bag of mints, which is awesome.
Yeah.
I don't know who you are, but thank you so much.
Yeah. No, I love to have like little Tootsie Rolls or like little candies, just like a little bit of sugar to kind of keep. It's a little bit, yeah. So you'll pass I did during White Christmas. I will say I did put a Red Bull into my Stanley because I was like, it was the 2-show day, and I was like,
just kidding.
I need the energy.
It's okay. You got to do what you got to do, right?
I did do that. I had my water too. I stayed hydrated. So
speaking of Red Bull,
okay, here we go.
Vince told us that his thing is to wait as long as he can without getting into costume or makeup.
I think that's a male thing. I really do.
He waits till the last possible moment. And he says he does this so he can peacefully sip a Red Bull.
I just like see it.
I know. I could just see him with a straw back there, like
the straw. I was like,
Red Bull. Yeah, pinky up.
I really do think some of the men in our cast actually truly just wait till the last minute to get ready. Because like I'll see their dressing room and they're all in there, but they're just chatting.
Oh yeah,
and I'm like, and then us ladies are like stressing, trying to get ready, and so that's funny. To sip a Red Bull.
I
love that. I love that, Vince.
Carrie says that her ritual is to show up early than anyone else, already ready to go, and then wander around like a lost puppy for 2 hours.
I will say sometimes it is nice to get there, like, because our call is 5:30, so not everybody shows up right at 5:30.
Yeah.
But I will say sometimes it is nice to get there earlier when it's just you in the dressing room to have 2 to 3 minutes by yourself to get ready. Yes, we will. So, okay. What's next?
Alyssa says that she loves to listen to Disney music because it feels like it's always nice and positive, and people want to go. They want to get in the mood.
Yeah.
So I love that. She likes to make sure that everyone else has everything that they need before she finishes getting ready.
Yep.
Which is super sweet. And I can attest to that.
Yes,
she runs around
and like during Cinderella, we're like, you're Cinderella.
Oh, yeah.
You're good.
Yeah.
Like, you take care. Do you need anything? And she was like, I'm good. What do you need? I'm like, honey, we're fine.
Yeah, we're good.
You get ready.
We're good. Do you want a mint? Do you want a Tootsie Roll?
Yes. Can't have Tootsie Rolls backstage anymore.
Oh my goodness. So let's get everybody ready. So then she does her makeup. And let's see here. She also likes to make sure all the props and costumes are set.
Yep.
Which is nice. Mm-hmm. But you should also check your own prop.
Yeah.
That's your job.
Always.
Don't make Alyssa do it.
Always. Everybody just has to make sure their props are there. It's just something you got to do, and our directors always tell that. Check your props.
Yeah.
So.
And sometimes a prop will stay in the dressing room. Occasionally, if your costume and that specific prop is there, or you've brought that prop from home, if that's one of your items from home. So it's just always good to check.
And I think one thing that I love is whenever us as actors, like Alyssa, are helping each other out. So like if my scene partner, I know they have a fast change and I can be there to help and I can make sure that their props are set and make sure that they've got everything they need. Like I will do that as well. Yeah. So that's, it's really
I do
great
that backstage.
when you have the support from your castmates or even your tech crew, so.
Yeah, like if I can put like
Like
I
you
will
were my
put wigs in the corner of a
Yeah.
wing sometimes.
Yeah.
Like I know she's coming off this side, and I also know she needs her bag. So whatever I can do to help extra.
You like White
It's,
Christmas.
like, so
you were
good.
there for me.
Yeah.
You and Dawn.
Jacket bag,
Jacket bag. Making sure
Yeah.
the wig was checked, and so
Yeah,
yes, it
just
is.
those extra touches.
Yeah. So now Melissa said
Yeah.
Disney music.
Yes.
Do you have if you do music or because some people are podcast people.
Uh-huh.
Podcast people.
Podcast people.
What kind of music are you like? What's your vibe? Does it change or is it always the same?
Well, I love the idea of the Disney music
Yeah.
because then everyone can listen to it and it's not
Mhm.
offending anyone.
Yeah. Yeah.
I hope. I
Yeah.
hope it's not. The Broadway mixes are good too.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to be stuck on a replay of like a certain one over
Yeah.
and over and over and
Yeah,
over.
I don't listen after once we're in the run of the show. I do not listen to the music in the show, like the Broadway recording of that
Yes,
show. I
no,
don't. I have
no,
to
it
turn
just
off.
doesn't make sense to.
I'll listen to like
sometimes,
our tracks that
yeah.
we have, like
Yeah.
that our music director will make, but I will not listen to the recording of the show. For me, it depends on the show. Like if it's something that I'm gonna have like a ton of energy, it might be something more upbeat, like I guess like dance music or pop, or
Sure.
sometimes even like rock.
Yeah.
But if I have to choose something, it's gonna 80s soft rock.
Oh yeah.
Yep, 80s soft rock. Give me some Chicago, Peter Cetera.
There you go.
Yep. Or
Just
I'll
to
do
get
like
you going.
80s rock, like Journey,
Yeah.
Kiss stuff. Well, Kiss is more 70s, but that's usually what I go to. So yeah.
Yeah.
I can't do like calming music because then I'll just like.
Oh no. Yeah,
So-
with no food and calm
Yeah,
music, like
yeah.
I'm gonna be in a coma.
Where's Amanda? She's asleep on
Yeah.
the floor in the dressing
I'm
room.
gonna
We don't
need
know
like
what happened.
50 minutes to wake up. That's what I'm gonna need.
We don't know what happened to her.
Right?
So,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's. I had Disney. That's a
That's
good
a good one.
one.
I
That's a
know.
good
It feels
one.
safe for like anyone
Yeah.
who might be in the dressing room that like
And some
you
of
know.
those Disney like movies, like they go hard. A
Yeah.
Goofy movie,
oh my gosh, Goofy movie, The Lion King.
Lion King. I'll Make a Man Out of You from Mulan.
Yeah,
That's a banger.
Anastasia in the Dark of the Night. Like,
So mad
the
they took
best,
that out of
yeah.
the musical.
I know, me too.
And the bat.
Oh,
Give her a
I
hug
think they
and a
could have
hi-ya.
totally left that in. Yeah.
Heartbroken. Okay. Who else?
Okay.
What do we got?
So we have Jeff.
Oh, Jeff's gonna give us a story.
I know it is.
Yes.
It is. I know. I'm gonna try to
We love you,
paraphrase,
Jeff,
but
yeah.
he says, "I never eat before a show, even within hours before a show.
Oh.
First of all, there's no way I can perform properly or get enough breath support when bloated." I agree.
Actually, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Second, I feel like there is no character ever written to be carrying a food baby.
Unless you're like Madeline Astor in like
Yeah.
Titanic and you're supposed to be pregnant.
Like, well,
Yeah, it's her, right?
Yeah.
If I'm wrong, I apologize.
Yeah,
So
I know. I think you're right.
I've done the show like 3 times, but
Oh my gosh. Adding to that, I must go to the bathroom at least twice before a show starts.
okay.
First, because there's really no time to go during the performances
Yeah.
of costumes
Yeah.
and mics and such. Second, because I don't want anything creeping out in the middle of a scene when I'm about to jump into the middle of the scene. You know, I was like, well,
Love.
yeah.
Yep.
Love your enthusiasm. And no, we
Makes
don't
sense.
want
No,
something
nobody wants
creeping out.
Nobody wants
It's
that.
bad enough when they rip their pants.
That's true.
And that has happened multiple times.
multiple times.
Like, do we? What's
Yes.
happening? He also says, "I'm never ready too early. I've been ready way in advance a couple of times, and as a result, my performance has not been the best."
Yeah.
It's true.
I agree.
It's true. If you're
But
sitting
everybody's
around,
different. Everybody's
I know,
different. So
I know that's true. But like, if I'm just sitting around in my costume waiting, like, I
No.
don't. I get that like lax, like,
no,
you know?
I'll be the girl with my makeup completely done, my hair prepped, my mic on, sitting in sweatpants,
Yeah, oh yeah, oh
eating
yeah.
some mints, talking to
Yeah.
the rest of the cast.
Oh, they call places. Okay.
Oh, the overture's starting. I should put my costume on
Let's
now.
put a skirt on.
Yeah. Especially, no, I mean, it makes sense, especially when your costumes are like so constricting, or when you have, like, when we did Jekyll and Hyde, I had so many layers on
Oh,
because
yeah.
of the time period,
Mhm.
and I was one of the upper class. Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
It was layer after layer after
Yeah.
layer. I was like, I
Any of
wanna
those
get this
time period
on.
pieces, like
Yeah.
Les Mis, the skirts had
Yeah.
like the hoop skirt, the other skirt, the
corset,
apron,
yep.
oh yeah, the corset,
Yeah.
the skirt, the apron.
Mhm.
It's like
That was Cinderella for me too. Or even like cats, like I have to put on like 2 pairs of tights, a leotard, and then my actual unitard. Like I just want to be in
it's
sweatpants
so
for a little
constricting
bit.
too. For okay, this one was interesting. This is from our friend Josh. I really don't have any rituals or superstitions anymore when it comes to the theater. So I thought I would tell you a story of my high school days and a tradition that we celebrated back then. Anne and I both attended Independence High School in San Jose, California.
San Jose.
And we're both in the musical theater program. The theater department had a tradition based on the Broadway tradition of the Legacy Robe.
The robe, yep.
Formerly known as the Gypsy Robe.
Mm-hmm.
The Legacy Robe on Broadway is presented by the Actors Equity Association to the chorus member who has the most Broadway shows under their belt. Leading and supporting actors are not eligible.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of cool.
I always watch like the Broadway actors and stuff, or when shows are opening on Broadway, and I always like to see who gets it.
You're
And
like,
I just
what
think
are
it's
you
cool
doing?
that you're honoring
Yeah.
you're honoring your ensemble. So.
Yeah. The Legacy Robe is a robe which is worn by the selected recipient, which displays the history of the different shows that they have played in a given theater.
Mhm.
There are patches and mementos, as well as a signature of the previous winners and the shows they are represented. So that's really cool.
Yeah, so
I
it's
think
like the
that's
shows
so
that have been
cool.
put on in that theater, yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome.
We'll have to like put a picture like or a video insert
yeah.
so that you guys can see what we're talking
Insert
about. If you have
photo
no
here.
idea
I'll just put it up here.
what it is, yeah.
Yeah.
Because it is really, it's like a big thing and everybody comes around, so yeah.
Yeah, that is pretty cool.
Mhm.
At our high school, the Legacy Robe winner was a chorus member, not a leading support role, and was voted on by the cast. It was a way of showing appreciation for the chorus member who went above and beyond they displayed the best attitude.
Yeah.
Like, because your chorus is supporting you.
Yeah.
If you are, when you're a lead, like, you need to give them love. You
Yeah.
need to make sure that they feel a part of the show.
Yeah. And I actually think it is really good to say that because I do think people forget that your chorus member or your lead might be your chorus member. So if I'm a lead and you're a chorus member, in the next show or in 2 shows,
Oh, yeah.
it might be flipped.
Yep.
So you always want to be giving, which we're pretty good at, but everybody should always be giving 100% to be supporting no matter what you're doing.
Oh, yeah.
Because it can easily be reversed and you're going to be the one on stage and you want your chorus members to be supporting you because it takes everyone to put the show together.
It's so
From
true.
the director down to, the people that are your stage managers.
To tree number 4.
Exactly. And we've all been there, so we all know what it's like. So I do love that it's always a chorus member and it's not.
Yeah, I call them the MVP, the chorus members.
Yeah.
Yeah.
MVP.
Yeah.
It's a sports term.
I agree. They're like, they are supporting you and they're supporting the show. And without them, it would sound hollow.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Just be you out there.
Yeah. I think sometimes company members forget the importance of our directors, our music directors, our tech directors,
Oh my gosh.
our wig crew,
Our
our
orchestra.
choreographers, our orchestra. Like, I think I will fully admit that I have sometimes taken it for granted, like what everybody else puts into it. And so I always think that's something that everybody has to remember, that it's not just us on stage that are making the show run, it's everyone behind the scenes as well.
Yeah.
So we come in, we sign in, we leave our phones at we have
Oh,
like
yeah.
a phone booth that
I forgot about that, yeah.
like a lockup because we don't need our phones backstage, which I actually, as a coach, I do that to my high school kids. I say, you come into practice, you put your phone in the slot,
Mm-hmm.
it's done, because you don't need any outside distractions.
Oh,
Like,
that's
you don't
so
need,
true.
I don't need, like, it's hard during rehearsal when I'm trying to teach and people are off on their phone and I'm like, you're reading whatever the latest news article is and now you're invested in that and you're distracted from what's going on stage.
Yeah.
But we come in, we put our phones away, we go in, we get ready.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a whole...
It's new and we're adjusting,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it is a big deal to always remind people, like, I think that's part of my ritual is whatever I have going on outside of the theater, I leave it at the door. Oh.
I think it also builds the cast bond a lot better too.
Yeah.
Get to know your cast.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care if you're the lead or tree 4.
Yeah.
Get to know your cast.
I've never been a tree in a show.
I appreciate the trees and the rocks and all the set people and, So.
It's actually, people laugh at me because I've done my fair share of leads and ensemble, and when people ask what my favorite show is, I know we kind of got off topic with omens and rituals, but I think it's good to talk about. When people ask me like what my favorite show is, one of the shows I always say is Oklahoma, and they're like, well, who were you? And I was like, I was Dream Lori. I did the ballet, I danced in the chorus, and they were like, oh, but you were Charity, and you were, one of the stepsisters in Cinderella, and you were Amber in Hairspray, and you were Victoria in Cats. Like, why Oklahoma?
Why is that your fave? Yeah.
Because that was a family, man. Everybody in that show was supporting each other, from the stage managers to, dancer number 8, like everybody was always encouraging each other. I never left a rehearsal feeling defeated. Like that, it was one of the funnest shows I've ever been a part of. And that's why, because our leads to me as dancer number 3 were all like, hey, you're doing a great job. I'm so happy you're here. Like, it's going to be so much fun. Like, we all hung out all the time.
I love that.
And from the, like, and we're talking wide range from like children to our adults. Like, we all got along. And, my favorite memories is our stage managers were also like having to move scenery, you know, obviously.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
So they had to be on stage. So they came like in their Oklahoma gear. So one of our stage managers had his little like headset on with his outfit, and I called him Garth Brooks. And so he'd come backstage, I'd be like, what up, Garth? And he'd just start singing for me. And it was one of my favorite memories. John Wilford.
That's so
man.
cute.
So yeah, I would always be like, "Hey, Garth is here."
We can start
his
the
little
show
like,
now.
pack, and I just needed a guitar, and he was ready to go.
That's
but
awesome.
yeah, it's like some of the funniest memories, and it's, you know, as a coach too, I tell my kids that I'm like, you're not gonna remember all the times you won. You're gonna remember the silly things on the bus,
like the memories to get there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
the show doesn't just come together when you open.
Mm-mm.
It's a whole process. Yeah.
And I think our rituals actually maybe do start during rehearsals. Like,
yes.
Some people are like how you have your like your book, like your script.
Like,
how
where
do you
you're
carry
sitting.
your script?
Mm-hmm.
Do you like, some people like to have it like in like a binder. Some
oh my
people
gosh, the tabs.
Like to have the tabs.
Yes.
I'm a note card girl. I have to have note cards.
I'm a note card when I get off script.
Yep.
I go to note cards and then I get off the note cards.
Well, there's something about the memorization of writing it
yes.
down from the actual script to the note
Yep.
cards that helps you remember.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then like I'm the same thing. Like whenever I get to the building, I have a certain, like I set my shoes up. I do this. I make sure I have my water. I go through scenes. I go through choreography. I think your rituals begin
at the beginning, the
once
very
rehearsal
beginning
starts. Yeah.
Or they should.
Well,
Just
hopefully.
kidding. Yeah.
But again, everybody's
different.
Everyone's different.
Yeah.
So
that's true.
cool. Well, thank you guys for sending in your stories. That was really fun to hear, and I'm sure we have so many more. We don't have time to go through everything.
I know.
So we
I was like,
appreciate it.
I think we got them. But yeah, thanks again for sending those in. Those are awesome.
Yeah. So next time, it's gonna be all about
Go Joseph.
Joseph
Yay.
and the Amazing Technicolor Dreamcoat, which is our next production.
Yep.
And it's opening pretty soon.
The end of March, the last weekend in March, and the first weekend in April.
Yeah, it's 2 runs. So
I know.
Yeah.
You can get your tickets at BroadwayNampa.org.
Yay.
We'll
It's going to be
put a link-
amazing.
We'll put a link at the bottom for you guys. So, yay.
Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.
Yep, see you next time.